Hi, I'm Todd Wente, and this is the Daily 180. 180 seconds of motivation and inspiration intended to help you take action and make progress in your life. This is the second of a series of videos. Eventually, I'm going to be turning these into a list. But right now, if you've been following along, you might want to take a look at episode 606 to talk about chunking. Today, we're talking about focus again. Another little trick, a little hack that I use to make sure that my focus improves. So today, we're going to be talking about the idea of listing. Now, listing is different than making a list. All right. All of us know how to make a list. Our moms have been making lists for us. Our dads have been making lists for us. We've probably been making lists for other people, right? Hey, take everything you need to do, write it down. You got a list. Woohoo! You're on your way. For most of us, we take that list, we put it on the fridge, we put it in our pocket, we put it on a mobile device, and that's the last thing we do with it. We stop looking at it. We don't let it do anything with our lives. And so you might be saying, Todd, I've been hearing about lists all my life, and it's really not doing me any good. You're right, it's not. But I think that if you do part of the techniques that I call listing, it will make things a little bit differently. First, make a list. Make a list of the things that you feel like you need to do today. Mowing the lawn, going to the grocery store, making sure that you upload something onto your video channel. Whatever it is that you're going to do, all the things that you feel like you need to do, write them all down. That's, first step. You've got to have a written list. But then take a moment and look at them and decide which things are obligations and which things are opportunities. Now, for me, an obligation is something that comes as a result of a relationship that I have with somebody else. For instance, if my boss says, we have a meeting at 11 o'clock and I need you to have this information for that meeting, preparing that information for the meeting is something that's going to go on my list, right? And because it's an obligation connected with my boss, there you go. It's pretty easy. It's an obligation. So I'm going to put that probably as an obligation in my list. I might color code it. Maybe I'll move things around if I'm doing it on an electronic medium so that I, move things into an order that makes sense. But that's only the first step. Afterwards, then I'm going to look at them and I'm going to say, which things are time critical? Because I may have things on my list that are obligations, but I don't need to do them for a couple of days. I may also have things on my list that are opportunities, but if I don't take advantage of them in the next 12 hours, I lose them entirely. So time critical, obligations, opportunities, these are the things that I do with my list to try to tell myself, all right, what do I really have to do? And then the things that are both obligations and time critical, absolutely are going to get done. Things that are opportunities and time critical, I'm going to force myself to do as much as I can to get them done, but the obligations will always take priority. And then, generally speaking, my list filters down to about 4 or 5 items that are really things that need to get done. And everything else, I'll squeeze in when I get to it. I hope this has been useful to help you think about how to focus differently. If it has, give us a thumbs up. Let us know in the comments. And hit the button to subscribe and the bell to be reminded when these are coming out. And as always, share these with as many people as you possibly can to have more people join us on the journey. I would love to see by the end of this period of time, by the end of the year, by the end of 2022, to have 100 subscribers. Hey, if you'd help me out, I'd really appreciate it. Thanks very much for your time. And as I always say, this is the Daily 180. Go forth and conquer. We'll see you next time.